guys, it's Maddie, and today I'm going to be talking about my first semester at the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. So I am a freshman at FIT and I am a fashion business management major. I am dorming in Alumni Hall, and I have like a few different categories that I'm going to talk about today, which is dorming, classes, extracurricular activities, and living in the city. So let's get started. So like I said, I live in Alumni Hall, and there are 3 residency halls for freshmen. There's Nagler, which is females only, co-ed, which is doubles, and alumni, which is quads. So about 5 days after I moved in, all of the water was shut off because there was a plumbing issue, and like none of our toilets were working, our sinks weren't working. They had to shut off all the water. I moved into a hotel room for about 2 weeks. Black mold grew in our room, which is one of the reasons why we couldn't be in there, because it's really bad to inhale. Some of the rooms had to be fumigated, so that was also amazing. We had some issues with our AC, and our sink was leaking after we got back. So even after they supposedly fixed all the plumbing issues, our sink was leaking under, and we had to call maintenance like 4 separate times for them to actually come fix it, and it took probably like a month for it to actually be fixed. So because I know they have like so many issues, I don't blame the maintenance people for being so busy. They had so many requests to fill, but I feel like the problem shouldn't have happened in the first place. If they were a little bit better prepared before everyone moved in, I think it could have been avoided. And then even after, like I said, the plumbing issues were fixed, somebody on our floor had a huge leak, and their whole room had about an inch of water, and it was like spilling out into the hallway. That was not good either. It's been fine for a while now. They shut off the AC and moved over to heat, so we can only use heat. They did that probably last week in October maybe, and it was still kind of warm outside then, so I didn't enjoy that because it was really, really hot in our rooms for a while, because even though it's supposed to be cold outside, it was still kind of warm, and we could only have heat on or nothing. So obviously we like turned the air off altogether, but it still got pretty hot in our rooms. I forgot to mention, co-ed has AC, Nagler does not. So alumni and co-ed have AC. So I am definitely grateful that I have my own bathroom and mini kitchen. I would not want to, no offense to anyone who lives in either of the other halls, but I'm very glad that I live in alumni. I still like share a room with one person, and then there's another room with 2 other people in it, so there's 4 of us all together. Co-ed and Nagler doubles rooms are fairly big as far as I know. They're good if you only have one other person you know you want a room with. There's communal bathrooms on every floor, and then there's also a communal kitchen, but most people who room in either of those halls use the dining hall for all of their meals. And there's different meal plans that you can be on. You can have like more swipes, less swipes than others. For alumni, I am on the 75 block plan, which is the minimum required. Even if you live in alumni and you have your own kitchen, you have to be on the meal plan. So that means that I have 75 meal swipes for the semester. And I found it useful because sometimes I'll be running to class. I have to just stop at the dining hall real quick to get food. But speaking of the dining hall food is not the best. Anything from the grill section is pretty good, but the problem with that is that it's like hamburgers, chicken tenders, fries, so it's like not the healthiest. It's good, but it also takes a super long time to get anything from the grill. And so if you're in a hurry, you don't really have that option. The only other thing I really like getting from the dining hall is the chicken rice bowls from the sushi place. Those are pretty good. They're quick. You can use a meal swipe on them, and then you get a bag of chips also as a side. Other than that, I'm not really a fan of the dining hall. But the good thing is that you're in New York City, so you can really go anywhere because there's so many food places. Like between 7th and 8th Ave, like 7th Ave has like just Starbucks, Dunkin', Chipotle, like a salad place, pizza, and then 8th Ave there's like a McDonald's. There's a really good place called Green Blend, and it has like acai bowls, and just stuff like that. So there is a Starbucks in the dining hall where you can use your Tiger Bucks, which is basically like the amount of money that you load onto your account at the beginning of the semester. I think I had 300 Tiger Bucks at the beginning of the semester, and those don't expire. So the meal swipes do expire after every semester, but your Tiger Bucks carry over. So I love that because I can still get Starbucks and not spend my own like physical money on it. Next section is classes. I am a fashion business management student, like I said. The classes I'm currently in are FM 201, Social Media Apps for Fashion Business, FM 116, which is Fashion Business Practices, EN 121, which is English Composition, FM 245, Fashion Forecasting, and FM 108, First Year Experience. So the required classes for every FBM student during the first semester are FM 116, FM 245, and FM 108. So FM 201, which is social media apps for fashion business, is a major area related elective. It's my easiest class by far. It's really fun, and over the course of the semester you develop your own blog and are assigned blog posts every week. I'll link my blog down below. It's not like great because it's literally just for class, but it's really fun and you get to get creative, and the final project is actually a vlog, I think. So that's what I'm going to do soon because the semester's almost over. But yeah, I have Professor Higdon. He's awesome. Never takes up the whole class time. Sometimes I'm in there for 30 minutes and then I get to go. It all depends on how fast you finish your blog posts. And then you also have to do discussion posts on everyone else's, but it's literally just leaving a comment like, oh, I like that you did this, I like that you did that. So it's really easy. Definitely recommend taking the class. Next is FM 116, and this is a required course. It's a business fundamentals course. They call it fashion business practices, but there's really not like a ton of fashion in it. Besides the final project, which I'm starting right now, you get to select one brand, which can be, I think, beauty or fashion related, but normally fashion. And my group is doing LVMH, which is like the overarching brand for like Hennessy, Louis Vuitton, Fendi, like so many different brands. So we're doing that. It's a business class. It's boring, but it's good to know. Obviously, if you want to be in business, you have to know it. So if you listen to the lectures, take good notes, you'll do fine. Next is EN 121. This is only a required course if you don't have any AP English transfers from high school, which could be AP Lit or AP Lang. And it's tough because it's a 3-hour-long course, and my professor likes to take up the whole 3 hours, and it's pretty much all lecture. It's definitely my least favorite class. My professor is so sweet, she's very nice, but I just don't love English in general. It's not hard for me, but it's just kind of boring to me. I don't really like non-creative writing, and a lot of it is not research-based, but it's definitely like, it's not creative. It's not a super heavy workload. If you have to take it, it's really not a big deal. It is what it is. Next is FM 245, Fashion Forecasting for Merchandisers. This is definitely my most interesting class. The whole premise of it is to predict upcoming trends in the fashion world. We create PowerPoint presentations and use sources like WGSN, Fashion Snoops, Vogue Runway, and Doniger, which you'll have so many amazing resources when you're at FIT because it's the #1 fashion school in the world. They have so many memberships to so many different places that you can access for free as a student. So definitely take advantage of it. Even just like looking at WGSN at the runway shows is so fun. Like, it's cool to see what's going on. I will say this is kind of a heavier workload, probably do the most work for this class, I would say. Just because of the amount of research you have to do for your forecasts and your trend reports. At the beginning of the semester, we did trend reports, which were easier because you just do it based on what's already happening in the fashion world. Like, I did a report on Y2K fashion, why it's coming back and everything. But for forecasts, you forecast for next season. So right now we're doing forecasts for fall/winter 2022. So I'm going to put an example of one of my forecasts in the video now. It's really fun. It's actually like a fun class, and the presentations are fun to make if you get creative with it and make the most of it. The last class I'm in right now is FM 108, which is called First Year Experience. This is a new course for this year. This is the first time they've ever done it. You focus on Excel, PowerPoint, and Word skills, and you'll create a resume, you'll learn some of the fundamentals about fashion. It's a 4-hour class, which is composed of a 3-hour lecture, sometimes 2, and a 1-hour lab, sometimes a 2-hour lab. So sometimes it's half and half, sometimes it's 3/4, 1/4. We get out early though, and my professor is super cool, Professor Turpin. She's the best. Sometimes we go on field trips, like this semester. At the very beginning of the semester, we did a scavenger hunt around the city. We went like all the way up to Times Square from 27th Street, so a lot of walking, but it was fun. And then we also went to Hudson Yards and Nordstrom's for field trips. So we did like little scavenger hunts there, but really like you can shop and everything. It's fun. I would say I probably spend about 5 to 6 hours a week doing homework. As a FBM student, the workload is definitely not like super intense. My roommate is a fashion design major and she is constantly doing homework. Like any art major I feel like has so much more homework than business majors. Obviously, I mean, that was their choice. They did what they wanted to do. And I wanted to be a business major, and the fact that I don't have that much work is just a nice little surprise. But also a lot of it depends on your professor. I know some of my professors are more strict than my other suite mate's professor. She's also an FBM major. It really just depends, but you just have to make the most of it and really like try to get things out of your classes instead of just like going through the motions. So the next category is extracurricular activities. This year I played volleyball for FIT. It was a lot of fun, and it's not a ton of pressure because it's NJCAA D3, which is the Junior College Athletic Association, which FIT is considered a junior college because technically you do 2 years and then you do another 2 years, so you have to get your associates and then you get your bachelor's. So it's similar to like a community college. So that means that you can only play volleyball for FIT for 2 years max, or any sport at FIT. They offer soccer, tennis, track and field, volleyball, and I'm sure there might be more, but obviously it's a fashion school, like it's pretty, you wouldn't really expect them to have sports, so do with that what you will. But we got a lot of free gear. We got knee pads, shoes, a sweatshirt, sweatpants, spandex, t-shirts, so we got a lot of free stuff, which was awesome. Practiced every weekday and had games on Thursdays and Saturdays. Sundays and Mondays off actually, but that could change, I don't know, depending on when you're watching this. And they supplied a coach bus to drive us to and from games, and you get a $20 food allowance for every away game, which is nice. I didn't actually spend mine on food, I saved mine up, and I think I used it on my tattoo. So you don't have to spend it on food, but it's really nice to just like get that. I've also done freelance photography for the Style Shop, which is FIT's student-run boutique located in the Dubinsky Student Center. You can also volunteer to work there. My suite mate works there on Tuesdays, and they're short shifts. It's fun and it's really cool. I also was one of the photographers for Runway 27, which is the club that runs a fashion show every year. For my shoot, we went to Central Park, and there were probably 10 models. There were also like 3 or 4 other photographers with me, and we all just kind of like went around Central Park taking pictures. There's a lot of opportunities to get involved in campus life, and there are even jobs on campus that you can do if you're looking to make some extra money. But also, you're in New York City, you can do any, like literally walk across the street to probably find a job. And then credited internships or paid internships are also great options, but I believe you can only do that when you're a sophomore and beyond. Or if it might be in your second semester of your freshman year, so I can't do one like right now, but in the future. The last category is living in the city. So coming from a suburban town in upstate New York, I'm from Rochester. Moving to the city was definitely a shock, but at least for me, I settled in pretty quickly, and especially if you're a person who likes a fast-paced environment, I find that I constantly want to be doing things. You'll be like just fine moving there. Just kind of common knowledge, if you walk somewhere at night, carry self-defense tools like pepper spray or a pocket knife or something and try to walk with somebody. Thankfully, I haven't been like physically assaulted. Knock on wood. But I have been catcalled and like briefly followed, which is just the nature of the city. It's gonna happen, but the best thing you can do is be prepared for it. It's convenient to live here because everything is so close by. One thing that has been my savior is the Walgreens, or Duane Raid. I don't know. In New York, it's called that. Across the street from FIT, I think it's on 28th Street, has been my savior for things I need quickly. Like snacks, gum, medicine, like literally anything. It's perfect. For grocery shopping, I normally go to Fairway, which is, I think it's on 26th and 6th, it might be 25th and 6th, but it's about like a 5 to 10 minute walk. There's also a Trader Joe's, which is a little bit more of a hike, probably 15 minutes, but it's good if you need to go to several places like around there. I think there's so many things. Best Buy, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Michael's, like there's so many things there. So if you need to go there, do it. And it's also cheaper than Fairway, but is the hike worth it is the question, carrying a bunch of groceries. I've done it twice. You gotta build up a lot of strength to do it. There's also a Whole Foods down the street from FIT. It's on 7th Ave. It's probably 25th and 7th if I'm just guessing. But Whole Foods is expensive. I haven't gone there for my groceries yet. As far as going somewhere like further away, I normally take a taxi because they tend to be cheaper than Ubers, and I also like to supply taxi drivers with jobs because I think a lot of people have been switching to Uber instead, so it's kind of taking away jobs from taxi drivers. And it's honestly, it's cheaper, it's easy. You can just call one right like on the street instead of waiting for an Uber. In terms of traveling back and forth from Rochester, New York, take a train. It goes from Penn Station, which is now like Monhoyan Station, which is like behind Penn Station. So it's like its own train hall now. It's really nice actually, and it goes directly to Rochester. It takes about 7 hours. You could probably drive that distance in 6, but it's cheap, it's easy. Flying takes like 45 minutes, but the whole process of going to JFK or LaGuardia is just a lot, and it's obviously more expensive too. One last thing. It is so nice to be close to Madison Square Garden. I've seen Harry there twice. I saw him twice in October. One on October 3rd. Yes, I got the best outfit. Don't be too jealous. And once on Halloween for Harryween. He was Dorothy. So that is awesome. Just being able to literally walk to Madison Square Garden for any concert is amazing. And then there's also games there, of course, but will I go to one? Probably not. So yeah, if you have any questions about FIT or living in the city in general, comment them down below. I think I covered pretty much everything, but obviously I actually probably didn't. So comment if you have any other questions. And that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!